League tonight. PAOK welcome Neptunas to the PAOK Arena and what has become a must-win game for the home team. They're yet to pick up a win in this season's Basketball Champions League, and they'll be desperate to pick up their first here this evening. As for the visitors, they won their opening game against Brindisi before losing to Dijon on game day 2. Both teams are familiar names in the Basketball Champions League, so we're expecting a big battle. Here's the schedule. As you can see, Bonn are taking on Besiktas, Zaragoza versus Falco, and Dijon versus Brindisi. Those final two games will take place tomorrow, whilst the game between Bonn and Besiktas is 2 hours after this one. So here we are, ready to tip off things here in game day 3 for this group of the Basketball Champions League. And our teams, they've already met 4 times in the Basketball Champions League, and they perfectly share the record, 2 wins apiece. Here is your Group D standings. As you can see, PAOK are host this evening, bottom of the table without a win, whilst Neptunas sit in 5th place. 1 win, 1 loss. Dijon sit at the top of the table, the only team unbeaten in their opening 2 games. As you can see from the line across the middle of the table, it's a fight for those top 4 spots to make it through to the postseason. And what a fight it is likely to be. Both of these sides will be expecting it to make it through to those postseason games. Neptunas, as we see them warming up, they've only 4 new faces in their roster this season, and that should help them, especially in these early weeks of the Basketball Champions League. Here's their roster, very veteran indeed, 6 players over the age of 30. Davidis Galis is a big name to look for as well. The veteran small forward, 20.5 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists in the opening 2 games this season. And Gatis Masulis, 14.5 points, 5.5 rebounds for the 21-year-old forward. An impressive front court combo for Neptunas, and they'll likely lean on them to take the win tonight. Looking across to the home team though, PAOK, they've had a tough start to the Basketball Champions League. They'll still be targeting that postseason place though, but they will need to start winning very soon. Here's their roster. Scoring's been a bit of a problem. Only averaged 63 points across their first 2 games. Jaquan Lewis, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and Adam Smith, 10.5 points. They're their 2 big players, but you also do need to look at the likes of Vangelis Margaritas. The veteran is in his 8th season with PAOK, and will provide leadership on the floor for them this evening, as we're just about to have the player introductions here in the arena. And we're seeing Neptunas now introduced to the crowd. And they're certainly a team that tries to outscore their opponents. They have the worst defense in the group, shipping 80 points per game. But that said, they've reached the round of 16 in all 3 of their previous Basketball Champions League games. And last season, domestically, they also finished 3rd in Lithuania, obviously behind Zalgiris and Raitas. As we see the team introduced to the crowd now. Plenty of talent in the roster for Neptunas. And Galdikis just being introduced to the crowd, and Galdikis is an interesting one, a really bizarre stat been thrown out this week with regards to him. 60% of their games have been won when Galdikis has come off the bench. When he starts, they only win 22% of their games. One of those wonderful facts that we receive prior to the game, and you wonder how much that is that he brings energy off the bench, or you know, those kind of influence that he can have, that he goes against the second unit. As PAOK now are introduced to the crowd. They've lost their last 3 home games, but weirdly before that they only lost 1 of the previous 10. However, there's no alarm bells being rung yet. They lost their opening 2 games in each of their last 3 seasons in the Basketball Champions League, and having shot under 40% in their first 2 games this season, it's no real surprise. They sit with an 0-2 record, only averaging 63 points per game in those first 2 games. However, there is a ton of talent in this PAOK roster. Plenty of opportunity for them to turn things around. So Stokos might be one to look at as well. He's only scored 10+ points twice in the 39 games he's played, but one of them was against Neptunas back in November 2017 when he scored 12, so he might have another big game for you. But plenty of talent. As we see Aaron Best onto the floor and Antoine Wiggins coming on as well. Not had the best of Basketball Champions League so far, only averaging 7 points per game across those 2 games. The keys are coming in, and now Sadakopoulos. So as we see the final warm-ups. Those are officials for this evening's game. Manuel Mazzoni, Radko Ratisic, and Beniamino Emanuele Attard from Italy, Montenegro and Italy respectively, as we get into the final stages here of the warm-up at the PAOK Arena. Players honing in, zoning in on the game. Here's your starting 5 for Neptunas, and that's a pretty impressive starting 5 that they're putting out. Selakurskis, Dorsey, Osvicius, Galdikis and Galis. As I said, Galis, a veteran player, averaging 20.5 points per game. Expect a lot from him. Here's the head coach for Neptunas Klaipeda, Tomas Venkavicius. Quite a young coach, relatively speaking, just 41 years of age. Really grown up, though, through the ranks. 7 years as an assistant for Neptunas. Here's your PAOK starting 5. Lewis, Smith, Margaritas, Sadakopoulos, and Hisaz. Starting 5 for PAOK, and a lot of pressure starting to build up on the PAOK roster now. They'll need to make sure that they don't go another day without picking up and winning the Basketball Champions League. It looks like a very relaxed coach, Kostas Plevarakis. Plenty of experience. Him started actually back in 1988 coaching PAOK juniors. This is his first season as head coach, but he's got plenty of experience around the world, including an Asian Champions Cup bronze medal back in 2017. We're going to now jump into some of the huddle, see if we can hear some of the final thoughts from the coaching staff. First, let's listen into the PAOK huddle.
What we said at the beginning, the ball goes inside. Even if it's not here, but remember, this is you are here, stay on top, cut strongly. Okay, this guy goes get it and we play here, okay? You go here, we play the ball. Yes, okay. Also should be early and with Vangeli. Okay, and whatever happens in the set, defensive transition and rebound, guys, that's the most important. Everybody goes up on the guard.
A good transition. Everybody, good transition defense. Come guys.
Bigger guards, all the two on zone. Okay, if there is post up, okay. Physical. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Pretty simple message to take from the Neptunas huddle there. Let's get physical. They obviously want to come in and claim the game early on the road. They'll smell almost blood in the water for PAOK with them having lost their first 2 games of the season here in the Basketball Champions League. So they're wanting to maybe open up a lead early on the road. Yeah, both teams now just making their way to the floor. Final preparations for each of the starting fives. And remember, while we get ready for this game, get your phones out now. Download the official app for the Basketball Champions League. It's the best way to stay up to date with all the latest news, stats, videos, interviews, absolutely everything to do with the Basketball Champions League. It's available on iOS and Android. Free to download. Get your phones out, get that Basketball Champions League app downloaded now, and you can stay on top of the stats as we progress here this evening. Thessaloniki. It's always a nervous moment for teams as they just get into this game. Plenty of pressure on both these sides. And we're underway here in the PAOK Arena in Greece in this game day 3 Basketball Champions League matchup between PAOK and Neptunas Klaipeda. And the tip-off has been knocked out of bounds and will be a sideline ball for PAOK. Smith will go to the sideline to inbound it. Ball now into the hands of Jaquan Lewis. Lewis looking to pass it across now to Sarakopoulos. Back to Smith. Good ball movement early on here by PAOK. Margaritis now looking to back his way to the basket. Strong move, fades away. It's a tough shot with the shot clock running out, and Sidakurskis brings it down for Neptunas, but has it knocked out of bounds, but it will remain a Neptunas ball. As you see, Margaritis trying to get his own offensive rebound. Dorsey now brings it across to Olisevicius. First foul's going to be called, and not a great start to the game for Vangelis Margaritis. This is going to be called for the blocking foul, Margaritis there. Baseline ball now for Neptunas. Loose ball comes out and a scramble on the floor, but he's going to slide out of bounds. But you can't hate on the hustle from PAOK there, as Jesus goes sliding along the hardwood, trying to hold on to it, but it's going to go back into the hands of Neptunas. They'll only have 14 seconds. They'll be classified as an offensive rebound, as possession really wasn't gathered by PAOK. From the outside, and that's the way to start the game. Osvaldis Alasevicius. Lewis now for PAOK. Quite a stagnant offense here for PAOK, not much movement. They're playing straight forward. An offensive foul is going to be called on Stavros Shizas. His first foul of the game. Can understand why PAOK haven't been scoring a lot. Looking at their offense, there's a replay of the easy to call offensive foul on Jesus. PAOK offense really stagnant in that first couple of phases. No movement, no teamwork at all. Kalis almost travels. It's going to be stolen away. No, it's not. It's back into the hands of Galdikis. Little spin on the pivot. Soft right hand from the big man. Veteran big man with a veteran move. Step back, Smith. Oh, string music, and sometimes that's what you need when you're a team that's struggling to score. Just someone taking them on their shoulders, showing them the way to the basket. Dorsey now, kicks it. Open for the jumper, nothing there, and the rebound's pulled down by Sarakopoulos. Adam Smith from the corner, can't get that one to go, and the rebound fight is won by Margaritis. Lewis is wide open for three, and he'll drain the three. A good start now for PAOK. They're back into the game. Just over 2 minutes played. PAOK 5, Neptunas 5. Sidekerskis waiting for the slicing Galis. Came around the screen at the top, was open, but couldn't get the shot to go. Smith now. Sorry, Lewis kicks it back out. Now it's in the hands of Smith on the far side. Smith's going to try and shake his man. Instead, he feeds the post to Margaritis. Hands on, that's an easy call for the officials. Not great post defense by Olisevicius. Yeah, you see that right hand. The footwork was just too slow. Needed a step forward, a step across slightly first. Only the first foul for Olisevicius and first team foul for Neptunas in this quarter as well. Step back shot again from Smith. This time it's a little bit too heavy. Bounces away off the iron. Galis now waiting for the screen. Tough screen by Galdikis, and Galis will make them pay. And you can see the frustration already from Coach Leverakis. He knows his team's intensity on the defensive end will need to pick up. Equan Smith now. Oh, what a pass inside. Too hot to handle, though, for Sadakopoulos. They're out of the races. Easy two. Sidekerskis, a lucky recipient at the end of an easy transition offense for Neptunas. Margaritis now feeds Sadakopoulos in the low post. Waving people away, wants an isolation to go to work. The big body of Sadakopoulos goes to the left hand, and in the end, the defense is strong enough from Galdikis. And Neptunas will come away with the rebound. Dorsey now shaping up, trying to shake. Lewis puts up the long three and rattles it home. And that's Neptunas out to an early 7-point lead, just under 4 minutes played in the game. Strong offensive start for Neptunas Klaipeda. Sadakopoulos now on the outside, not where he wants to be in possession of the ball. And he's thrown it away, and things go from bad to worst for PAOK. Coach Fleverakis is going to call a timeout as his team look all at sea on the floor at the moment. On the other end of the floor, Coach Linkovicius will be more than happy with what his team have done so far. Let's jump into this Greek huddle as we listen to Coach Fleverakis.
So let's go. Coach, we are
And that on-screen graphic told you all you need to know. 4 turnovers for PAOK in the opening 4 minutes of this game. And they look like they're an early pre-season team at the moment. No chemistry between them. No natural understanding between the two teams, between the players at the moment. Major changes in the PAOK roster in the off-season. There's only actually 2 players returning. Choklis and Margaritis, and the only 2 players that were at PAOK last year. Oh, and another 2 for Neptunas. Galdikis. Sorry, Olisevicius scores his 2. Lewis to the basket, strong move and gets the desired result. Goes in amongst the trees. It's a tough play from the undersized guard. Galdikis now, take the long 2. Not the prettiest of jump shots, and you could tell by how far away Sarakopoulos drops off him. Lewis now inside the paint, tries to get it back to Sarakopoulos. It's stolen away again, and here's Neptunas at the races! And a one-handed flush. Olasevicius with another easy two, and we're already out to a 9-point lead. Looks like the PAOK bench is going to make changes. Double change coming in. Lewis now for three. Comes up short. And once again, Galdikis will pull in the rebound for Neptunas. Dorsey comes back out. Olasevicius inside. Galdikis is fouled. Can't get the play to go. But once again, Neptunas are getting absolutely anything they want on the offensive end. Wonderful interior pass. Beautiful pass inside by Olasevicius. Galdikis couldn't quite get that one to go. As we see Soklis come back in, as I said, one of only two players returning to PAOK. But it is his 7th season with PAOK as well, his 4th season in Basketball Champions League action, Soklis. Let's hope he can bring plenty of that veteran leadership to the team. 36 years of age. As we look across to the PAOK bench. And Galdikis is good with both his free throws. Neptunas lead up to 11. And the foul's going to be called. That one on Olasevicius. And you can see that Neptunas, as I said, almost smell that blood in the water. How they'd love to kill this game off as early as they can, but Olasevicius has picked up his 2nd foul. That's going to mean changes for Neptunas as Masulis comes into the game, and a real bright spark on loan from Zalgiris, averaging 14.5 points, 5.5 rebounds across the first 2 games of this Basketball Champions League, just 21 years old. Ball into the corner now. Soklis sees the lane open up. Tough play inside. Is going to come up short with that one, though. Sarakopoulos brings in the rebound. And Antoine Wiggins' first action isn't positive for PAOK. And once again, Neptunas secure the rebound. Dorsey to Gildakis. And one for the big man. Sarakopoulos going to be called for the foul. And Galdikis will go back to the line for another 2. Wonderful cut to the basket from Galdikis. Easy call for the officials to make, and just that pure upper body strength that is so obvious for Simas Galdikis. Makes his way to the line as we see Zane Knowles come into the game for the first time this evening. He's averaged 8.5 points, 7.5 rebounds across the first 2 games, and maybe Zane Knowles is the answer to Galdikis. Galdikis will go to the bench now as we see a change. I think it's Williamson that's come in. Knowles now at the top looking for options, but the Neptunas defense is matching up very well. Soklis now comes back out to Shizaz, but it's an offensive foul. I think that one's going to be called on Zane Knowles. Not a great way to introduce yourself to the game. Your team is struggling, and yeah, easy call. Great defense there by Andre Williamson, though. Set himself tough in the post, down in the paint, and Zane Knowles had to foul him to move him. Galis now. Nice crossover, slides inside, and he's fouled. He slides his way to the basket. Ngakeza now into the game and called for the foul as well. He's come across to help, and I suppose the one saving grace is if you're going to foul, foul hard. Yalis had no chance of scoring the 2, but he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Not the best of free throw shooters. Only 58% from the free throw line prior to tonight's game here in the Basketball Champions League. Connects with both in that visit, though, and Adam Smith will come back into the game for PAOK. as Coach Leverakis looks to find some form of winning combination, because at the moment they are all at sea, trailing by 16. Just under 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. Oh, nice high off the glass lane by Adam Smith. And they're going to need every ounce of creativity that Smith has to fight their way back into this one. Baseline drive, skip back out to Janavicius. Williamson's looking to set the screen. Janavicius almost loses the handle. He does. It's stolen away. And he fouls. And you can see the passion. Leverakis on the sideline there. Pumped by that defensive hustle from Soklis. And PAOK once again have had a quarter to forget so far here. Just over 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Smith now. And the foul's going to be called offensive again. This time on Antoine Wiggins. And there's the jumper. That's no good. Didn't quite see the foul, but it was a push in the back. And because it's effectively a loose ball foul, Galis will make his way to the line. Connects with the first, takes his total up to 5 now. One of 2 Neptunas players to have played the entire first quarter so far, Galis and Sidikerskis. And nice hustle on the offensive glass there from Masulis, but couldn't quite hustle it away from the PAOK hands. 15-point lead for Neptunas. Smith inside, skips it to the corner to Soklis. Screen by Egekeza, now into Smith in the near corner, drives to the basket. Oh, lovely move, couple of pivots and gets the 2 and almost puts Sidikerskis on skates. And you have a feeling Smith's taking this as a bit of a personal challenge now. That takes him to 6 points. Takes PAOK to double digits. 90 seconds left in this first quarter. Out for Neptunas to put up another 3. This time it's no good as Sidikerskis is hustling for the offensive rebound. And has managed just to knock it off, I think, a PAOK hand, so it's going to stay with Neptunas. Janavicius drives to the basket and another foul is called. I think this one, is it on Knowles? And you can hear the PAOK crowd getting frustrated, and some of the players are as well. Apollon Soklis just having a conversation with the referees as Andre Williamson will go back to the line. Soklis chalked up with that foul. Williamson connects with the first. His second season in the Basketball Champions League, spent last year at Fribourg in Switzerland. A veteran big man, averaged 13 points, 7.4 rebounds for Fribourg last season, so big expectations of him. Not had a huge start to the Basketball Champions League so far, just averaging 2 points, 3 rebounds, but looking to have a reasonably big impact so far here this evening in this first quarter. But Williamson will pick up his first foul, I think. As we see Coach Tomas Rinkovicius there. And you can see how hard Zane Knowles is working in the paint, trying to secure some space. The ball foul has been called. Looks like that's an offensive foul. Not sure who that one's been chalked up to. But another turnover for PAOK. And the lob almost is finished with the flush by Andre Williamson. Wonderful teamwork yet again by Neptunas. Just 45 seconds left now in this first quarter. Smith to the basket, trying to find a teammate, nothing there, but PAOK get lucky with that one. Into the corner now. The three goes up, they're screaming for the foul. Egekeza's gonna get called for a technical, or is it on the bench? I think it might be on Coach Flevarakis. He's pleading with the officials. He thinks his man was fouled. Let's have a look at the replay. Egekeza now. Tough to see from that angle whether the shooting arm was caught or not by Masulis. Again, the camera moved away from what we saw. It didn't look like it, but plenty of frustration on the bench as Delinkaitis secures the extra technical free throw from the line, and Neptunas lead is at 18 now. Just over 30 seconds left in the first quarter, and a nightmare first quarter for the home team PAOK. Masulis now hands it off. Janavicius into the hands of Delinkaitis. Hits another big shot, and Neptunas continue to turn the screw. Shot clock's off as PAOK will look to take the final shot of this first quarter. Soklas with the horn set up in front of him, 10 seconds. Hands it off to Smith. Smith pulls a long three, in and out. And the rebound comes back to Neptunas. And that's the buzzer for the end of the first quarter. And my, oh my, you hear the noise from the stands. PAOK have had a nightmare 10 minutes here. 11 to PAOK, 32 to Neptunas Klaipeda. Here are your stats from that first quarter. Great shooting from Neptunas, 7 from 8 from 2, 43% from 3, 9 from 10 from the free throw line. An absolutely near perfect performance from Neptunas in that first quarter. Wonderful, wonderful play from them. Big performances across the floor. Two leading scorers, Galdikis has 7 points. Olasevicius has 7 points as well. As for PAOK, nothing really to write home about. Only 2 players on the scoreboard at all. Smith with 6 points and Jequan Lewis with 5 points. A exceptionally tough first quarter for them. And this PAOK season in the Basketball Champions League has started with 2 losses and an exceptionally unforgettable first quarter where they've only registered 11 points and shipped 32 points. They've left themselves a mountain to climb in this game. They have the talent in the roster. It's just whether they can come together to fight their way back into this one. This is not what Coach Flevarakis wanted to see. As Neptunas really have got opportunities to score wherever they wanted them, whilst PAOK have relied on individual talent from the likes of that man there, Adam Smith, to keep them going. Not sure Smith alone is going to be enough to get them back into this game, though. Well, here we go. Second quarter underway here in Thessaloniki at the PAOK Arena. PAOK trailing 11 to 32 after 10 minutes against Neptunas Klaipeda. Corner jumper is no good for Jageli. Jagela, another one of those young players into the action, seeing early minutes here in Greece. Into the corner, Smith fakes a 3, drives inside, mid-range 2s, foul from behind. Madas Jagela called for the foul. Definitely a bright young hope, Jagela, but he's been taken to school on that play from Adam Smith. And Smith goes to the line for 2 free throws. Not the best of free throw shooters, only averaging 50% from the line, 17% from the perimeter so far in the Basketball Champions League. Plenty of experience though, played for Chalon in the Basketball Champions League back in 2017-18 season. Averaged 16 points per game in that campaign. Takes his personal tally now up to 8. And PAOK have had a reasonably bright start to this second quarter so far. Margaritas has ploughed into a Neptunas player. Can't quite see who that is at the moment. Oh, hit him quite hard, but it's Williamson that's pushed Margaritas into him as Janavicius gets back to his feet. Galdikis comes back into the game, and he had a strong first quarter. Galdikis, 11 points to his name after that first quarter. As we see the hustle for the rebound fall into the hands of Margaritas. He's going to go up against Galdikis now. Drives inside, spins to the base, couple of pivots. Right-hand floater is no good. And once again, Neptunas pull down the rebound. Janavicius goes for the screen, but drives inside instead. Skips it to the corner. Contested three is no good. And Neptunas are starting to stall. Nice pass inside. And Antoine Wiggins gets the two, and you can hear some positivity around the arena here in Thessaloniki. Sulis comes back to the top. Janavicius looks to drive inside, almost has it stolen away by Lewis. The loose ball is picked up and thrown at the basket in a prayer. Offensive rebound is pulled down by Masulis, and Margaritas is going to be called for the foul. Let's look at this one again. There's the rebound from Masulis. It's tough. I can understand his frustration, but ultimately he has put his arm across him. Baseline ball for Neptunas to put back into the game now. Good quick ball movement. Nikatis. Nikatis' drive to the basket is no good, and Masulis has not managed to hold on to it. It's gone out of bounds, so it's a PAOK ball on the baseline, and PAOK have battled their way a little bit back into this one. A 4-0 start to this second quarter certainly helps after they finished the first on the wrong side of an 8-0 run for Neptunas. Soklas inside, and that's a strong play. Antoine Wiggins just seemed to float by the ring long enough to draw the foul. Secure the two. Nice baseline cut, and you just see the hang time from Wiggins. And the foul from Masulis. Wiggins at the line for the bonus. Scores the extra one, and Neptunas' lead is down to just 14. And you wonder, can Neptunas restart the stalled car? Because at the moment, things aren't going their way. 7-0 run to start the second quarter from PAOK, as they sit in 3-2 zone. Olasevicius now floats away off the glass. It's too heavy-handed with that one, and Margaritas pulls a rebound down. PAOK out at the races to Smith. Floats in for two, and a big comeback from PAOK here in the second quarter. And their heads didn't drop, and they've exploded into this second quarter, have PAOK. What looked almost like a done deal after 10 is wide open again. Neptunas lead down to just 12. As PAOK go on a 9-0 start to this second quarter. Wonderful, wonderful play. And Neptunas will call a timeout. Let's go and listen into their huddle.
Wait for somebody. We have this situation. Make screen. Thomas, run faster to the corner. Run fast to the corner and let's attack with this ball.
Okay, wait to be don't pass to him. I stay here. Then when I run, then pass to him.
Yes. Okay. Okay, let's go first. Simply for inside. Simply for inside. I want to handle here. Ball position, good shooters here. Thomas, I would like here. And they can side it also this ball. If they side it, go here. If no siding, come up. Good pass. They come up here. Good pass. And you can shoot or you can attack with this. Hey, second again, we go come side. Let's go. Guys, if you have possibility, play fast.
Here's a wonderful replay of that transition, and it was completely made by that slight hesitation from Smith. He just stuttered as he received the ball, and that changed the momentum of the defense, and that was all that was needed to change the flow. And can Neptunas get things going again? A quick steal from PAOK. Out for three. Big shot. Apollon Soklas brings it down to a single-digit lead for Neptunas. Sorry, just a 10-point lead for Neptunas. After they were absolutely decimated, they were down by 21 at the end of the first quarter, and within just over 3 minutes, they're back in this one. Another steal, and PAOK are at the races to Smith. Inside, has it knocked away. Wait to see whose ball this one is. That was a hell of a pace. Not sure that's an easy one to call. PAOK are going to hold on to it, and Neptunas look very much like PAOK did at the end of that first quarter, slightly shell-shocked. Here's Smith driving to the basket. Rejection is called, and did it come off the hand there of Darren Dorsey? The officials are going to go and review this one. Going to jump into the game tape and have a look. The official, so it looks like we're almost ready to get underway again here at the PAOK Arena. Lewis now back to Smith. Margarita sets the screen. Smith doesn't use it. Just that first step was so explosive. Adam Smith gets the lane wide open. He's the first scorer in double digits with 10, and he's earned himself a trip to the line. 2 from 2 from the line so far this evening, Adam Smith, and really has been the spark, the bright light throughout this game for PAOK. Connects with the first. And the second is good, and PAOK are back within 8. That is not something I expected to be saying after just over 3.5 minutes of this second quarter. What a comeback here from PAOK after a awful first 10 minutes. Dorsey now. Full movement by Neptunas, but they look a little bit shell-shocked. Pass inside to Gildakis. 3 players on him, still has the strength to go up and get it to go. Big play by Gildakis as Flevarakis on the sideline is fuming at his team. In between Wiggins now to Smith, waiting for the screen, looking for options in front of him. He's got the mismatch that he wanted. Little step back for Smith. He's good to go, and Adam Smith is taking this game on his shoulders. He's up to 14 points now, 5 from 10 from the field. 2 assists as well. Everything good on the offensive end is going through the hands of Smith. PAOK are going to make a change as Sadakopoulos is going to come back into the game. Galdikis has had a good game for Neptunas Klaipeda. He's leading their scoring with 9 points. A couple of rebounds as well for him. Ball back into the hands of Darren Dorsey. Vickers sets the screen. A long jumper is no good for Neptunas, and Galdikis swipes it back out. Rebound is good, but Wiggins will intercept that deflected pass. And once again, Smith will get things underway for PAOK. Comes back now to Lewis. Lewis has got the mismatch against Galdikis that he wanted, but they've moved the ball on. Circles for 3! My goodness me! You can see the reaction from the Neptunas coach. Coach Linkovicius, he does not know what has hit him here in the second quarter. Neptunas have been outscored 18-2. Oh, that's a big shot, and what big timing as well for Neptunas. Sedekerskis gets just his first field goal of the game. Lewis now skips it to Smith. Smith trying to shake, little hesitation. Pivots back. Fading jumper is way off target. And has that jumper for Sedekerskis open up things for Neptunas again. Oh, good ball movement from Neptunas. Oh, and another big 3. And Coach Flevarakis has seen the comeback halted in a hurry by Neptunas. As Olisevicius hits a big, big 3, 2 from 3 from outside, double digits for him. And timeout called by PAOK, and wow, what a game we are being dealt here in Thessaloniki. Just as Coach Flevarakis will have thought that his team have got back into this one with an unbelievable 18 points in the opening 6 minutes of this second quarter. Neptunas Klaipeda have come storming back into it with back-to-back triples. One from Sedekerskis, one from Alisevicius, and they are back out to a double-digit lead, 11-point lead for Neptunas. Just over 4 minutes left in this second quarter. Can PAOK once again fight their way back into the game? What a drama we've had so far in the opening 16 minutes of this one. Smith now, hesitation. Comes off the foot of Galdikis. It'll be a sideline ball for PAOK, and Soklis will go across to inbound it. Drive to the basket. The lane was closed off well by Galdikis, but here comes Lewis. And the ring is not his friend in that situation. Neptunas can't make them pay at the other end, though. As last 30 seconds has been a little bit scrappy. Soklis for three, and he changes that pretty quickly. Soklis up to 8 points now. 3 from 3 from the field. Wonderful play by the PAOK veteran. 36 years of age as Darren Dorsey steps in. No joy from him, and the rebound falls into the hands of Sedekerskis. Dorsey now. Lasevicius looks to fire it inside, but can only fire it out of bounds. And one criticism you can never level at Coach Kostas Flevarakis is a lack of passion. He has shown his emotions already, and we're only 17 minutes into the game. Equan Lewis now. Back out, Margaritis from the top for three, and PAOK have shot their way back into this one. Four from 8 from outside for PAOK. Sedekerskis now comes back out, quick ball movement. Goes inside, nice drive to the basket. Galdikis, was it? No. It was Gaelis this time. Takes his tally to 7. Margaritis now going up against Sedekerskis, gets his way to the basket and gets the offensive rebound on what was a good initial phase of defense by Sedekerskis. Margaritis just kept going, did not give up on that one. Into the hands of Alisevicius is no good. And Neptunas are now struggling on the offensive end, and PAOK, can believe it or not, are within 5 points of Neptunas now. If the foul is going to be called on Darren Dorsey. Just a reminder, about 8 minutes ago, Neptunas Klaipeda were leading this one 32-11. They have now outscored, they've been outscored by PAOK by 15 points in the first just over 8 minutes of this second quarter. This has been an unbelievable game so far here in Thessaloniki, and you just wonder what more it's got to give. Man, Smith is a one-man wrecking ball at the moment. That's his 16th point of the game. You could almost see it in his eye when things were going wrong for PAOK. He knew it was on his shoulders. He knew that he had to take control of the game, that he had to fight them back into this one, and it's exactly what he's done. As he connects with the second free throw from the line. A big 90 seconds left. Can the unbelievable happen and PAOK actually take a lead into the halftime locker room? That would be an amazing feat from them. And the foul is called, and more histrionics now from Flevarakis, as Antoine Wiggins is going to get called for that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, easy call for the officials. He was just a split second too late, extending the arm, and he knows it as well as a smile comes across his face. Just his second foul. Only the second team foul of the quarter for PAOK as well. Sedekerskis comes back out now. Janavichus looking to feed it inside. It's come off a PAOK hand, but that's a 24-second violation. Good defense, and I think that's the definition of shell-shocked as we look at Coach Ringovichus, as I don't think he can believe what has happened in this second quarter to his team. Lewis now. Sadakopoulos comes back to the main man, Smith. Pulls the trigger on the jumper. He's short this time, though. Neptunas will come away. Ball in the hands of Janavichus. Sedekerskis. Into the corner. Corner three is taken and fouled. And Wiggins, a silly foul from Antoine Wiggins. That's his third foul of the game. That's bad enough. But it's going to be registered. Fouling a jump shooter on the corner three. And Gytis Masulis will go to the line for 3 shots. 39.6 seconds left. And Jesus is going to come into the game for Wiggins, I think. As Wiggins has picked up his third foul. And Masulis really is a bright hope for the future, not just of Klaipeda, but of Lithuanian basketball. He's the son of Thomas Masulis, who obviously picked up a bronze medal in that iconic 2000 Olympic team for Lithuania. His son here, Gytis Masulis, won Best Young Player last year, won the Cup last year in Lithuania, and is part of kind of the Zalgiris setup. Been loaned out this year to Neptunas. An idea to get some more minutes under his belt and develop as a player, and he's certainly shown that so far in the early stage of this Basketball Champions League this season, averaging over 14 points and 5 rebounds a game. Impressive performance from the 21-year-old. Neptunas lead back out to 6 now. As Lewis loses his footing. Ball is skipped across to Shizas. It's too heavy on that one. The rebound's dragged in. About a 5-second, 4-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Sulis into the corner. Quick ball movement. Janovichus now. Knocked away. Smith will come away with it. To Lewis. Can't get the lay-in though, and Lewis has had a tough first half. Just 2 from 5. They're going to run it back the other way. Hand it off to Masulis. And realistically, Davidas Galis should have just floated to the basket for the 2, but wow, catch your breath. What an exhausting first 20 minutes of action we've had here as PAOK trail 39-45 against Neptunas Klaipeda. There's your shooting statistics from the first half, and it's more comparing them to the first quarter. Neptunas have dropped and PAOKs have just gone through the roof in comparison. Pretty much even across the board on the rebounding battle and the assists as well. PAOK picking up the defensive intensity in that second quarter though, leading the Steels 5-2. Here are your top scorers: Smith with 16, Olasevichus with 10 for Neptunas, Soklas with 8, but probably Soklas the big scores that he's put in, and then Galdikis for Neptunas has 9 as well. The big man doing some work in the paint. But what a first 20 minutes of action we have had. Absolutely breathless here with Neptunas getting out to such a commanding early lead. Wonderful, wonderful start to the game for Neptunas. They really did. They held PAOK both ends of the floor to account, and at the end of that first quarter, Neptunas led 32-11. They held a 21-point lead after just 10 minutes. The game almost looked like it was done and dusted there and then, but you never switch off from a basketball game, particularly a Basketball Champions League game. The quality on show is without doubt, and PAOK have done an unbelievable job in that second quarter. It was almost a completely different PAOK side came to the floor, led by that man there, Adam Smith. He's had a huge game so far, and in that second quarter, he spurred them on to outscore Neptunas 28-13, which leaves us with a 39-45 point game in favour of Neptunas at the half-time break. As I say, it's been a game already of two halves. We're only at the first half break. Alisevicius is leading things for Neptunas. 10 points for him, 3 rebounds, 3 assists as well. Galis has had a strong first half, 7 points, 2 rebounds and an assist, as has the big man Galdikis, 9 points and 3 rebounds to his name. Another one to watch out, Darren Dorsey, he's got 5 assists already, but looking across the PAOK, the comeback kings as it were, it really has rested firmly on the shoulders of Adam Smith in that first 20 minutes. He scored 16 points, 2 assists as well. And then you have Soklas with 8 points, 2 from 2 from the perimeter for him. And then 3 players on 5 points apiece. Jaquan Lewis, Angelos Margaritas and Antoine Wiggins. They all have 5 points apiece. They're the only scorers for PAOK. They only have 5 players who have registered on the scoreboard in the first half. Whilst Neptunas have 8 players that have registered in this first half. Remember how we started today's action here in Group D of the Basketball Champions League. PAOK looking for their first win. We're on game day 3. They lost their opening 2 games. Besiktas at home by 9, and Falco away by 10. Whereas for Neptunas, they won their opening game against Brindisi by 10. Lost their second game at home to Dijon by 6. And Neptunas are 5th in the table, whilst PAOK sits on the bottom. Here's some replays of your best players for both teams. Alisevicius is lining things up for Neptunas and really was a controlling force, particularly in that first quarter for Neptunas. Took himself up to 10 points pretty quickly. And then the top scorer for PAOK, we mentioned him time and time again, was Adam Smith. He's on 16 points, shooting 5 from 12 from the field, 6 from 6 from the free-throw line. Also has a couple of assists and a couple of steals to his name, and you saw him realise early on in that first quarter that if PAOK are going to have a chance, it's going to be on his back that they need to ride, and he certainly took that straight to heart, went after them straight away in that second quarter and sparked that resurgence in the second quarter. They were down by 21 at the end of the first quarter. They had a 28-13 second quarter, and at half-time, PAOK trail 39-45 to Klaipeda.
Last 3 minutes of the half. Oh, the weak side just opened up. The one goes straight down the middle and flushes one.
Davis, meanwhile, gets in and makes a very tough reverse layup. No wonder they call him Jordan. That's Jordan-esque. Yalavatsa gets rejected. Well, what a block. Tell you what, Jeff Nimbuck making a count in transition. And right now, Gaziantep are just searching for answers. But really, Aaron Nimbuck is just taking this game over.
It looked like he had no chance of making that one. Almost takes the shot while he's lying on the floor.
Sam Bubbles now inbounds the ball to baseline. This is the Hatcher. Hatcher spins around. Well, he's got to make that shot. William Hatcher, are you serious? This guy, veteran, is putting on a show. I mean, he looks like a globetrotter right now.
Matulis, low post. His pass to Ray. Ray putting it on the floor. Oh, scoops it up and it goes for Kendrick Ray.
Had a bender. Almeida in the lane. Almeida for the win. Doesn't get it, but it's hit back is in. And now, Aaron Nimbuck, they win the game with Hankins here in overtime. I can't believe it. Here's Almeida. Goes in the lane.
Hankins comes up. Oh, that's game over. Ehrenberg now have won this ball game.
8 points now, and that's a big time block, big time defensive play. Not in this house as Gentile tries to get through.
But someone goes up for the jam. There's no way Zabanov was going to allow himself to be on the wrong end of a post.
What a tough catch by Martin, then he puts it up! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, he's made it! Was it Stone in the end? Unbelievable. These guys refuse to lose tonight.
Welcome back to the PAOK Arena here in Thessaloniki. And what a game we have had. An absolute breathless 20 minutes of action. After 10 minutes, we were almost calling this one. as Neptunas led by 21 points. But a completely different looking PAOK side turned up for the second quarter and outscored Neptunas 28-13. At the half, we have a scoreline of PAOK 39, Neptunas 45, and I certainly needed those 2-3 minutes half-time break to recover my thoughts and senses after what was an onslaught in that first 20 minutes. And that man there really was the kingpin of the comeback for PAOK. 16 points to his name at the half-time break. Adam Smith, 5 from 12 from the field, 6 from 6 from the free throw line, 2 assists to his name and 2 steals as well. What a big 20 minutes for him. As for Neptunas, they will have thought the game was almost done and dusted after 10, and they slightly shell-shocked, you know, almost rope-a-dope-styled coach Thomas Alankovicius. You could see him on the sideline just wondering what has happened in this second 10 minutes, because it looked like a completely different game, a different team for both sides had turned up. First quarter, Neptunas were getting what they wanted on the offensive end. Second quarter, they could not buy a bucket at times, and that's left us with a wonderfully balanced game as PAOK look to get their first win of the Basketball Champions League season, whilst for Neptunas, they want to pick up their second win, start getting a winning record to their name. Neptunas were led by that man there, Osvaldas Alasevicius, and he's got 10 points to his name, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, steal and a block shot, making sure he's scratches in every column of the box score for Neptunas, but not enough. It was dominant form in that first quarter, but it was PAOK that showed class in the second 10 minutes, and that is exactly what's put them in the situation we're in now. PAOK only trail by 6. There was a stage in that first quarter where the fans in the stands, I wouldn't imagine that young lady was joining them, there were a few boos ringing around, whereas now you could hear a slightly more positive note coming from the fans that are here at the PAOK Arena. And I would not want to stake a claim as what I think is going to happen here in this third quarter. It could go absolutely any way whatsoever. Is it going to be the experience of PAOK, the youth and dynamism of Neptunas that's going to win this one through? You have a feeling if PAOK are going to win it, they're going to need more than Adam Smith. And for Neptunas, they're going to need to get back to getting their offense flowing. They had a strong first quarter from the three-point line, trailed off in the second. They're 5 from 16 at the moment from outside, after what was a good first quarter. Both fives taking back to the floor now. You see Aaron Best come in for PAOK, and Darren Dorsey. He's got 5 assists at the half-time break. Certainly a facilitator in that first half for Neptunas. Here we go, start of the second half here at the PAOK Arena in Thessaloniki, and PAOK trail by 6 after 20. A huge comeback already by PAOK. What have they got left in the locker? And the foul's going to be called. That one's going to be chalked up to Darren Dorsey, I think. Just wait to see. Yep, Dorsey picks up his second foul. Quick first team foul for Neptunas here in the third quarter. Smith with the ball, splits the defenders, hesitation, fade away, near impossible. But Best will grab the rebound into the hands of Lewis. And Masulis is going to get called for the foul. 2 quick team fouls for Neptunas now. As Masulis, his defense is slightly overzealous at the start. Not sure where the call came from there. Maybe it was slightly before the replay started. Lewis into Sadakopoulos now. Banging his way to the basket against Masulis and seals him out. Rolls the baseline for a very easy 2. And PAOK will drop, I think, into almost a 2-3 zone. Masulis, corner 3 is no good. Rebound for Shizas for PAOK. And PAOK has started the third as they finished off the second quarter. And another easy 2 for Sadakopoulos. I imagine we'll see Galdikis back into the game quickly for Neptunas. Masulis isn't able to stop Sadakopoulos at the moment. And it's just a 2-point lead for Neptunas now. The big 3 is no good. And once again, PAOK get the rebound. Can they tie the game or even take the lead on this possession? Sadakopoulos skips it. Corner 3 for Best. He's fouled. Olasevicius fouls him. It's going to send him to the line for 3. Aaron Best is going to have a chance to give PAOK their first lead of the game from the free-throw line. And Best certainly was playing for that foul. As expected, Gildakis is going to come back into the game for Neptunas. Big man was in fine form in that first half, and he's been brought on to limit the damage that Sadakopoulos has done so far. Best at the line for 3 free throws. He's only shot 40% from the free throw line prior to tonight's game. And free throw woes continue here this evening. Canadian national team last year as they qualified for the World Cup finals in China. Didn't have the World Cup finals Canada will have wanted. Best wasn't part of that final 12 that made the trip to China. But he did average 6.1 points per game across the 9 qualifiers that he played in that campaign. He misses all 3 of his 3 throws, and that really is a weakness for Aaron Best that he needs to work on. Now into the hands of Sadakirskis. Oh, floats to the basket. Oh, gets the lucky roll round the iron. And you can see the relief for coach Lengavicius. Lewis now, Sadakopoulos. Oh, what a pass to Lewis. Comes back out though to Smith. Smith goes up against Sadakirskis. He's off target. That's good defense by the young big man for Neptunas. Gaylor hits the 3. That's a big shot, and the 50 rolls up for Neptunas, and their lead extends back out to 7. How much will they woe the fact that Best wasn't able to hit even one of his 3 free throws? Sadakopoulos with another big play, and he's fouled. Galdikis is going to get called for the foul. Puts his hand up and takes that one straight away. Yeah, hooks his arm in. Says good call, ref. Sportsmanship shown there by Simas Galdikis. Going to be a baseline ball for PAOK, and his team have certainly put him through the ringer, Coach Fleverakis on the PAOK bench. Sadakopoulos now. Nice pass, quick ball movement. Lewis floats inside and is rejected on his way to the basket. Great defense by Gaylus for Neptunas. And the foul is going to be called on Aaron Best. And we saw a exceptionally happy Neptunas coach in the first quarter. Things certainly haven't gone their way since then. They still hold a lead as PAOK sit in this 2-3 zone. Masulis inside is fouled by Sadakopoulos. Sadakopoulos knows he can't sag that far off, because if he's playing retreat defense, he's certainly at a disadvantage against the likes of Gytis Masulis. Masulis will go to the line for 2 shots now. 75% from the line prior to this evening's game. 3 from 3 from the free throw line here tonight. It's the first of his 2. the second. Takes his tally up to 6. Lewis being hustled at the top, but beats the defense. Unable to make the big move, and you heard his frustration into the microphone there. The foul is going to be called once again on Best, and not the worst of fouls from Aaron Best, because his team hadn't made their way back on defense effectively, and they were going to struggle, as we say. We see Apollon Soklas come into the game for Jekwon Lewis. Soklas had a good first half. 8 points to his name, 2 from 2 from the perimeter. Seemed to hit big shots at big moments. Soklas probably have the same expectations from him as Masulis. Puts up the 3 and hits it. And there's the versatility of the young man. He can bang in the post, he can step out with a finesse from the perimeter. Best now, turns the corner, goes up against Gildakis. Gildakis is going to get called for another foul. That's 2 quick fouls on Gildakis. Only his second personal foul, though. Didn't pick a foul up in that first half. Neptunas lead, though, on the back of that. Masulis 3 is out to 12 again. And you do have a feeling, we saw the shot just then of Coach Pleverakis, and he must be wondering, how many times can my team fight their way back into a game? And Best will be grateful to see his free throw drop after missing his first 3 attempts. His first points of the game. Now 2 from 5 from the free throw line. As PAOK continues to sit in this 2-3 zone defense, and it should give up perimeter shots for Neptunas. Oh, drive to the basket. Tadas Sedekerskis floats high and throws it down hard. Smith now, hesitation, little step back, good defense by Neptunas. Soklas almost loses possession as it was deflected. Neptunas will come away with it. Asking for the travel, nothing given. So the Kurskis now into Galdikis. Galdikis is harassed off the ball and fouled. Hits his arm hard on the floor. Certainly a warrior type of player, though, Simas Galdikis. A timeout has been called here in the arena. You see the foul there. I think that one's going to get chalked to either Sadakopoulos or Smith. Take your pick for the officials on that one, but timeout called, and we're going to hopefully jump into one of the huddles shortly. But this game continues to deal up some treats for us. Let's jump into this PAOK huddle and listen to what Coach Pleverakis has to say.
Okay, and one here for us. This is, you play with him. I go. Okay, so you go here, you play the pick on corner, and we go. You had every time easy situation. We miss layup. Hey, όταν το κάναμε layup, θα πήγαμε μέσα μόνο. Okay, let's go. Hey, now listen. Next possession will be 41. Will be back man to man, and we will have switch on everything. Okay, switch everything, everything. Staying when the ball screens, we try to play under. Front, everything inside. We are ready, ball pressure with the high, low.
Higher from the middle,
ready for the low pass. Okay, go, we play red on everything.
And you have a feeling off the back of that timeout that Coach Pleverakis knows that his team can't afford to fall asleep like they did in the first quarter again. That expecting 2 huge comebacks in a game is highly unlikely. And he needs to keep his team on their toes at the opposite end of the hardwood. Coach Ringovicius also knows that his team are not going to come out of this one unscathed. They did a great work in that first quarter, but let PAOK back into a game that was almost done and dusted after 10, and they'll be kicking themselves for that for sure. Here's Darren Dorsey now. for three. Way off target, and it's Neptunas' turn to have an exceptionally stagnant offense. No real movement, no working for each other, and that's why Dorsey was left with a late in the shot clock tough shot. Soklas inside, Sadakopoulos. Oh, it's a little bit low for him. He had to take a step to compose himself, and by that point he was almost under the basket. Dorsey now. Foul's going to get called. That one's on Soklas. Trying to guard Galdikis as he rolls to the basket. Let's have a look, and yeah, you see Soklas just wrap his left arm around the shoulder of Galdikis. Galdikis will go to the line for 2 shots. 3 from 3 from the line so far, the big man, along with 9 rebounds and a block shot. You can see him willing that one in. That moves him up to double digits as well. Looks like he'll pick up his double-double. It's just 1 rebound away from that. He's at Simis Galdikis. Born in Klaipeda, but must be an honour to play for his home team. 3rd season with Neptunas and his 3rd season in the Basketball Champions League as well. Inside now, Sadakopoulos. Nice pass. Oh, wonderful pass from Sadakopoulos, and the big man has vision. Finds a cutting Stavros Shizas. His first score of the game. Dorsey now. Hesitation, step back, no. Sidakurskis comes back to Dorsey. Oh, nice little hesitation dribble from Dorsey. Is enough to lose Sadakopoulos. Margaritis is on the side, getting ready to come in for PAOK. Soklas now. Step back dribble, hands it off this time to Aaron Best. Shot clock down to 5. Oh, crossover loses his man off the glass, is no good. Sadakopoulos is going to get called for the foul. That's his 3rd personal foul. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, and he knew that he'd done it. He pulled his hand away, but it was too late. For PAOK fans, it's not bad. They see not just Evangelos Margaritis coming to the game, but also the main man for them, Adam Smith, checks back in. Smith on 16 points already. And you wonder what a fresh leg Smith will do. As we see, the first 3 throw is no good for Neptunas. And Davidas Galis will go back to the line for his 2nd. Four from 6 from the 3-throw line for Galis, along with 3 rebounds, and he'll go to the bench now. Soklas brings it up over the half, being guarded by Dorsey. Margaritis comes in, sets the screen. PAOK's offense is a lot more fluid than it was in the first half, but good hands there by Williamson. Gets in the passing lane and steals it away from Smith. Sulis, nice pass inside, and that's the fluid offense that we saw in the first quarter from Neptunas. That is worrying signs for PAOK, as Neptunas extend their lead to 17 now. Do PAOK have anything left in the gas tank to fight their way back into this one yet again? Let's jump into their huddle.
Screen that the big man was keeping this guy that had the layup, so I want this wing guy, okay, on the zone, we do that like man to man. If they play this pick and roll on the zone, Stavros, stay with them. Yeah, stay here and this guy go there. Look, all right. Okay? Thanks a lot, Adam. Okay, so we agree, because that was the only thing that helped us with the layups here. And big man fight. Προσπάθει Stavros Mike to that to the system. Και πέραμε μέσα layup. Fight here, but this guy is here. If you have to go, you go. Okay, Apollo, Adam, whoever it is. Now, next play. Hey, we do again that way. Option with this, with the screen again. So again, you go. Okay, this is for Adam. Without the speaker roll, you go here for the way. Here. Okay, Apollo, let's see. Fast stagger. Πρώτα one-to-one, λαρολάρι. Μετά ο you can wait. Vangelis with another. Okay?
Let's get back.
Let's get back.
And this really is a crucial stage now in the game for PAOK and their fans. They fought their way back into this one so hard. Now they trail by 17 again, just under 3.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. They need to start yet another comeback and start with possession on the baseline, and Soklas will advance it up over the half. What can they do before the end of this third quarter against Neptunas? Smith for three. Short with that one. And the rebound falls into the hands of Andre Williamson for Neptunas. Dorsey now. Oh, what a pass! No good though. Masulis couldn't find a way of bringing the ball up, but it was great vision by Dorsey. Soklas now. Good hedge by Masulis. Good rotation by Williamson. But Margaritas gets free. Quick ball movement now. Jesus inside. Margaritas is rejected by Masulis. And great offense on by PAOK, but just slightly better defense by Neptunas. Dorsey calls the screen up, uses the screen on the outside. And unfortunately, Yagela steps out of bounds as he tries to drive to the basket. It's been a great game for the young man as we see the defense by Masulis straight up and down. Perfect textbook defense, and Fleverakis there on the sideline for PAOK. It really is. There's not much more that you can do. That was good offense by PAOK, just slightly better defense by Neptunas as we see Janavicius come back into the game for Neptunas. Wiggins now. Hands it into Soklas. Soklas for three. Up short. Williamson with the rebound. He falls to the floor. But manages to spill it to Janavicius. Masulis for three. Oh, the young man nails it. And there's the little celebration on the way back. He knows that's the big score. Neptunas up to 20-point lead. What a spin. Oh, almost rejected by Masulis again. The two will count as it's basket interference. Stolen away. Wiggins, Euro step, reverse lay is good. And there's a quick turnaround. As it's back to within 16. PAOK 51, Neptunas 67. A little over a minute and a half, just under a minute and a half left in this third quarter. As Neptunas call a timeout, let's jump into Coach Ringovicius's huddle.
Again, here the left. So go with the dribble. We don't need this passes. Yeah, we don't need this passes. Okay. Offense. Let's go top side. I think we play zone. They press back to the zone. So, man, play one side, but I think we'll be zone. So be ready, guys. I would like this handoff. Come up here, from the here with Thomas. Thomas go here, maybe here one. Others, come over here, and then this cross you. Go, guys. Good. Now, good. Right.
And this really is a chance for Coach Ringovicius's men to kill this game off. You know, a big 90 seconds of basketball here from Neptunas could hammer that first nail in the coffin of PAOK's chances of picking up their first win of the Basketball Champions League season here this evening. And PAOK straight away move into a press defense. Slightly unstructured press. I think it was a 1-2-2 press or even a man press that was a little bit fluid. Jumping on the dribble. Jagela almost makes another mistake. Schulis now to Janavicius. Janavicius drives inside, almost gets a 2 to go, but earns himself a trip to the line on the back of the foul from Stavros Shizas. Strong move, and yeah, there's the arm being caught by Shizas. And Janavicius will go to the line for 2. It's the first of his 2 attempts. Can't get a second to go, and Wiggins there grabbing onto the ring. Could have been called for basket interference. And Williamson is going to get called for the foul, and you can see Coach Ringovicius in the background there saying, wait a minute, we saw Wiggins pull on the ring while the ball was still on it. I don't understand. And I presume the officials are saying the ball was clear of the ring when he actually caught it with his hand. As we see the coaching team there for PAOK with Coach Kostas Kvevarakis in the middle. And what would have been if PAOK had actually woken up for tip time and started the game well. Remember, after 10 minutes, PAOK were trailing by 21 points, 32 to 11 after 10 minutes. Unbelievable start to the game for Neptunas. And PAOK have battled and fought their way back into this one. They were only trailing by 5 at the half, and now they trail once again by a considerable margin, 15. As Neptunas look to seal their second win of their Basketball Champions League campaign this season. Drive to the basket, Jagela. He's had a tough game, but he's made a good play there, the young man. Sofrich now, trying to find a way to the basket, and the defense just closes out. Stolen away, Jagela out of the races, and the hustle on the hardwood. Jump ball is going to be called as Mashulis slides on the hardwood alongside Shizas. Wait to see which way the possession arrow points. Doesn't really make a huge difference. So whoever gets the ball now, the other team will get the ball to start the 4th. Olasevicius will come into the game as Janavicius goes to the bench. 18.6 seconds left. Shot clocks will be turned off. Neptunas will look to take the final shot of the quarter. They lead by 17. They've outscored PAOK 25 to 14 in this 3rd quarter. And it's going to take a monumental effort again from PAOK in the 4th if they're to come back into this one. Do they have it in the locker? Is there enough gas left in the tank for another big effort? Delinikaitis now with the ball. Uses a screen by Williamson. Delinikaitis crossover, step back 3. Oh, that is a big shot to finish the 3rd quarter. The fist pump from Coach Ringovicius as Delinikaitis nails a big 3. The smiles on the bench of the Neptunas team. No surprise as that 3 extends their lead out to 20. 53 to PAOK, 73 to Neptunas. End of the 3rd quarter. Here's your shooting stats. As you see, Neptunas shooting well from the perimeter. 9 from 23 this evening. Unbelievable from inside. 14 from 20 as well. And that offensive efficiency for Neptunas is what's giving them the lead. A 20-point lead at the end of 3 quarters. And at the halftime break, we thought, wow, we've got a game on our hands again here. It was just a 6-point lead for Neptunas. But they have once again come out and obliterated PAOK on both ends of the floor, outscoring PAOK 28 to 14 in that 3rd quarter. Their lead now sits at 20 points. We saw PAOK close 15 points in that 2nd quarter. Can they close 20 points here in this final quarter? Is it a step too far? Remember, PAOK, a very, very experienced roster indeed. You know, they have 6 players They have several veteran players on their teams, the likes of Vangelis Margaritas, the likes of Shoklas, 36 years old. He's had a good game. But what we had in that third quarter that was the first of the game was a quiet quarter from Adam Smith. He didn't step up. In fact, he didn't score in that third quarter. Expect a lot from Adam Smith in this final quarter if they're to come back into this one. But after their comeback in the second quarter, I wouldn't put it past PAOK that they could. But it really does. You have to say it's down to Neptunas to throw it away now. That was the final three from Delininkaitis before the end of the third quarter. That's extended it out to a 20-point lead for Neptunas now, and it's their win to throw away, and it's for PAOK to fight hard back into this one. Here we go, final quarter action of the Basketball Champions League, game day 3 here at the PAOK Arena in Thessaloniki. And PAOK trail by 20 points to Neptunas after 3. Smith, too heavy with that one, but the rebound's going to be knocked away. Came off the hands of Delininkaitis and will be a PAOK ball on the sideline. Soklas now look to inbound it. They're obviously going to look for Smith an awful lot in this final quarter. Soklas into Margaritas. Margaritas trying to back down Williamson. Much better offensively from PAOK. Baseline drive is knocked away. Great defense there by Delininkaitis. As Jesus drove along the baseline. He managed to marry it up with some good footwork. He'd been beaten initially. Just the wingspan of Delininkaitis was enough to get the block. As PAOK apply some pressure, and rightfully so. They need to force the tempo in this game if they're going to come back into it. The last thing PAOK want to be is 0-3 after 3. Navicius comes back out now. The shot is off target. PAOK will pull the rebound in. As Delininkaitis gets called for the foul. Smart foul, really. Stops any speedy scoring from PAOK, and they're going to have to score in a hurry if they're to win this one. And PAOK are going to need a near perfect game on both ends of the floor now to take the win here in game day 3. Wiggins turns the corner against Masulis. Ball comes back out now to Soklas. Soklas, couple of dribbles behind the back. Nice fade to the basket. Margaritis looking for the foul. Looked like good defense from here. Shrug of the shoulders from Flithodakis. Soklas is going to get called for the foul. Williamson, nice pass inside, good ball movement. Masulis, though, holds on to it. Probably should have passed it to Delininkaitis. He's fouled, though, by Margaritis. And some frustration creeping into the PAOK team now. They know they've not performed near their potential. Masulis just rips the ball through, and Margaritis is caught reaching in. Baseline ball. Second team foul of the quarter for PAOK. Delininkaitis. Oh, he nails another 3! And adds to the sorrows and the woes of PAOK. Smith now to Wiggins. Wiggins floats inside. Extends up high, can't get it. Williamson with the rebound for Neptunas. They're out at the races. Alley-oop lob is no good, but it comes back to Williamson. Wonderful transition basketball from Neptunas. And once again, Masulis with an unselfish play. Knew that he was falling out of bounds, finds Williamson back in bounds and gives him the pass on a plate for the easy 2. And it's now a 25-point lead for Neptunas with a little over 8 minutes to play. does Coach Plevarakis have a rabbit in the hat that he can pull out? Because it's going to need to be a big one here this evening.
All the other four, we are away here, we are running, jump every time here. Now, when we go back again, you will play with switches. Okay? In the only the bigger roles with this is again, you will not play. Only with this, no switch. All the other four, you know, everything come together, go. Now, the next play, say, you will run on one side with this, okay, one side. Go here, go with the speed. This is here, you are behind. Okay, you are behind, and we have the two guys there. The company on the opposite side. Next go, guys. Okay, under the ball. Okay, hey, play every possession. Let's go. Let's go.
And at what point do you see the heads drop from the PAOK players? The coaching staff certainly haven't given up on the game yet. They've got a little over 8 minutes. It's a 25-point lead, so it's a Herculean task ahead of them. But they haven't given up yet. What have these players got left to give for PAOK this evening, though? Smith, he's already given plenty. 16 points, hasn't scored, though, since the first half. As Neptunas are on a 10-0 run. Williamson is going to get called for the foul. Galdikas is in the game. And Galdikas has had a very, very good game for Neptunas as he wrestles with Sadakopoulos in the low post. That's been an enjoyable battle to watch this evening. Smith now looking to shake up his defender. He's got the mismatch he's wanted. Galdikas, as Smith jumps away. It's a huge step back, but it's also a huge air ball. Galish slows things up for Neptunas now. Into Galdikas. He's it knocked away. Jaquan Lewis will bring it back the other way into the corner for Smith. Hits a three at last. It's his first score in a long, long while. It's no coincidence that PAOK have been on the back foot since the last time he scored. Foul is going to be called on Lewis. Just his first foul of the game. 13th foul of the quarter for PAOK, though. You see him reach in and, catch the arm clearly of Matis Igeala. Kick out past Galis. He's off short with the jumper from outside, and Twain Wiggins steps out of bounds, so it's going to be a Neptunas ball again. Only 14 seconds put back onto the shot clock for Neptunas, though. Yeah, good call by the officials. Good camera work from the cameramen. Wiggins now drives to the basket. Strong move, comes up short yet again, though. And it doesn't show on the box score, but the Neptunas defense has changed so many shots. That example there from Davidas Galis really did put the shot off, was enough to put Wiggins off and for Wiggins to come up with an air ball. Soklas now can't hit the three, and he's hit a cold stretch as well. 2 from 4 from the perimeter now is Apollon Soklas. 10 points to his name, but another one that's really dried up from the first half. It's a key part of their comeback in that second quarter. But Neptunas have managed to lock him out here in the second half. 6.5 minutes to play here at the PAOK Sports Arena in Thessaloniki. And a 22-point lead for the visiting Neptunas. Oh, good rejection by Sadakopoulos, though. Just stayed with the play. Smith now, hesitation. Steps back for the big threes. Off right with that one. Again, good defense by Neptunas. And Wiggins on his own in amongst the trees. He's fighting a one-man battle on the offensive boards, and he's got one that time and earned himself a trip to the line. As we see PAOK make some changes. Soklas will come to the bench. Jesse Nicholas comes into the game for the first time for PAOK. Played under 18s and under 20s for the Greek national team. 24 years of age now, still trying to break through into the rotation here at PAOK. It's his first season with the team and his first experience of Basketball Champions League action. Only played in one of the 2 previous game days. Ugala now. Gets it over the half, and Neptunas will start managing the clock slightly now. Janavicius. Galdakis. Galdakis sets the screen. Galis spins to the basket, spins back. No good though. And this time management will be important for Neptunas, but they can't rely on it. They still need to be scoring points. Sadakopoulos now, good quick ball movement from PAOK. Lewis floats to the basket, gets the 2 off the glass with the finger roll. And the Neptunas lead is at 18 and the timeout has been called. 5:29 left in this one. PAOK 60, Neptunas 78. Neptunas coach Tomas Lenkovicius has called the timeout. Let's jump into his huddle, hear what he has to say to his team.
Let's go, free up. Let's go, protect, free up. Take time in good spacing. We don't need to go. Guys, be in good spacing. If we need somebody help, now they play deep flat, so maybe we can attack with the pull-up because it's sticky. No offensive fouls. Hey, defensively we still want team foul. So be aggressive, drive, foul, use this foul. Let's go.
You have to like the message there from Coach Ringovicius. He's saying be aggressive, go to the basket, draw the fouls, and that's a smart move. Make PAOK work hard on the defensive end, take away those last gasps of energy that they have. Also earn yourself some trips to the line, keep the scoreboard ticking over that way, and you can time manage. You don't have to make those aggressive direct moves to the basket till late in the shot clock. I like the moves here from Coach Ringovicius. He wants to seal out this win. Make sure they don't slip up like they did in the second quarter. Galdakis now hands it back, and Janavicius will slow things down at the top. They're waiting for Galis to get inside. Nice little step under and gets it 2, and he does exactly what his coach asks of him. Steps inside, slightly more aggressive, high percentage chance, but so does Smith. Strong move, but good defense from Neptunas, and here comes the lob, and he can't quite get the dunk or the finish, but the follow is picked up by Lasevicius, and he gets the 2. And that's a lack of hustle from PAOK to get back on the defensive end, and you saw the frustration from their coach on the sidelines. Smith now hands it off. That's in Nikolaus to Smith. Smith looking to drive straight at Galis and hands it inside. Sadakopoulos now asking for the double to come across. Nothing's there. Oh, and gets away. A beautiful soft left hand before the shot clock expires. And Sadakopoulos has been one of the high points for me in this game. He's got 5 rebounds and a block to his name, along with 6 points now. Much more than that, though, from Sadakopoulos. He's pulled the strings at times for PAOK. Janavicius inside. Wonderful transition basketball, and even though he scored, he's frustrated at his teammates. There's a sign of a player looking to fulfill their potential. You're never upset when you see players so determined to be the best they can be, like Janavicius did on that play. Smith, no joy this time, and things continue to fall apart from PAOK as Jaquan Lewis will be called for the foul. Just Lewis's second foul of the quarter. Easy one for the officials to call. I think someone sitting at the top stand could have called that one. And because they're in the bonus, that will send Janavicius to the line, and that's exactly what Coach Ringovicius was talking about. He was saying, look, They've only got one foul to give. Let's be direct, let's be aggressive, let's go to the basket, draw the fouls, and let's keep our scoreboard ticking over on the free throw line. And smart move from the young coach. As Janavicius continues to score from the line. 2 from 3 for the night from him. Just his 4th point of the game, but certainly he's played his part. 3 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Definitely a strong backup point guard behind Dorsey for Neptunas, as we see Jagela come back into the game, and Slavinskas will have his first taste. Another youngster in this Neptunas team, Djugas Slavinskas, just 20 years of age, 3rd season with Neptunas. Has played under 18s, under 19s and under 20s for the Lithuanian national team. Another bright spark, a bright hope for the future of Neptunas and Lithuanian basketball. Wiggins almost loses it, gets it back to Lewis. Shot clock down to 3. Lewis floats inside, left-hand floater is no good, and you do have to feel for Jaquan Lewis. He's had a tough night of it. Only 3 from 12 from the field. As we watch a replay of the ball going out of bounds of Salakopoulos. The officials just want to get things right before it's inbounded. 24-point lead for Neptunas now, 3:07 left in the game, and it feels like Neptunas are well on their way to their 2nd win of the Basketball Champions League season, moving them above the 500 mark. Janavicius now being guarded by Soklas. Soklas is a player that's certainly not going to give up. Doesn't really matter what the score is, he's going to fight to the bitter end. That's his 4th personal foul. Janavicius will go back to the line for 2 more shots. Pizarra is going to be introduced to the game. Another youngster for Neptunas, again 21 years old. Part of the Lithuanian under-19s team from the under-19s World Cup back in 2017 when Lithuania finished 6th. This is Pizarra's first experience of Basketball Champions League action. Didn't play in either of the first 2 game days. So you can imagine how exciting that is for him and his family, seeing him taken to one of the biggest stages in European basketball. Soklas now for PAOK. Sadakopoulos, back to Soklas. Looking for the rolling Sadakopoulos, instead inside to Wiggins! With the pump and the dunk. Antoine Wiggins has been a consistent for PAOK. There haven't been many of them. He's up to 11 points now, 9 rebounds. Very, very close to his double-double for the evening, and rightly deserved. He's fought hard throughout the game. Pizarra can't get the shot to go. That would have been a wonderful way to start your Basketball Champions League account. Soklas with a crossover to the corner. Wiggins to 3. No joy this time, and the rebound is pulled down by Slavinskas. He's out at the races on his own. Almost forgets to take the ball with him, though. Janavicius will slow things down and wait for the screen to come up. Slavinskas sets the screen, gets it back, floats in, left hand off the glass. And you can see the support he gets from his teammates on the bench. Big moment for Slavinskas. Just his 2nd basket. Oh, rejection. But a foul's going to be called, I think, on Olasevich just before that one. And Coach Flevarakis now. Just really damage management, damage limitation. 25-point lead for Neptunas. The win pretty much in the bag for them. As Wiggins will go to the line for 2 shots. And for PAOK, they'll stay at the bottom of the table. The only team in Group D without a win after 3 games. And their next game is on the road, and it doesn't get much easier. They'll take on Dijon, who after 2 game days are sitting top of the table 2-0. That is next Tuesday, 5th of November. For Neptunas, they'll head back home after this one to take on Zaragoza. next Wednesday at home for them. But Neptunas will consider this a job well done. Bar a shaky second quarter, they've had a dominant display here in Thessaloniki. As we see some of the youngsters from Neptunas now getting some court time. Janavicius trying to shake off F1 Lewis, floats to the basket, gets it off in time from the shot clock, but couldn't get it to go. And PAOK now, 2-on-1 break to Wiggins. Another 2 for Antoine Wiggins. He's up to 15 points. He's got his double-double with 10 rebounds as well. Definitely the highlight has to be Wiggins and Smith display from PAOK. Not much outside those two to write home about. As we see the foul called on PAOK, this time Hatsi Niklas. And smiles back onto the face of the Neptunas coaching staff, and in particular head coach Tomas Renkovicius, as Slavinskas will go to the line, converts the extra one on the three-point play as we enter the final minute of action here at the PAOK Arena. Soklas now. Sadakopoulos will set the screen to Wiggins. Oh, there's the frustration jam. Left hand slam from Antoine Wiggins. 17 points for him now. And he has fought to the bitter end, Antoine Wiggins. Gotta love him of how he plays the game. Another foul called on the floor. It's going to send Neptunas back to the line. Vieira now at the line. Can't hit the first. His chance to score his first ever Basketball Champions League points. You see the smile on his face. He knows what it would mean to get off the mark in his first game, and he has. Wonderful moment for the 21-year-old Taras Vieira. Soklas now inside, tries to hand it off to Sadakopoulos. Can't do it. Nice floating pass intercepted by Wiggins. Long outlet to Soklas. He gets himself the 2. He's up to 12 points. Picks up another foul. And Janavicius is saying, you know, questioning him why you're doing something so petty and so pointless. At this stage of the game, you have a feeling because Soklas just wants to get off the floor. He knew it was going to be his 5th foul. Means that he doesn't have to be on the floor for this final 20 seconds. Janavicius will go to the line as Shizas will come back into the game. And that foul from Apollon Soklas probably sums up PAOK's display here this evening. Pretty disappointing, I think, is probably the summary line that will be used for this display from PAOK. Janavicius makes him pay with another free throw. 5 from 7 for him. 7 points on the evening for Janavicius. This is the second, and Sadakopoulos will slide out of bounds with the ball, so it will be a Neptunas sideline. They'll have the final possession of the game. Well, they know there'll only be 14 seconds put onto the shot clock, so it'll be considered as an offensive rebound. 15.8 on the game clock, so a 1.8 second differential between that shot clock and game clock. So PAOK are likely to get a couple of seconds at least to get a shot away at the end of the game. Not much difference that it will make in what has been, bar the second quarter, an exceptionally poor performance from PAOK. And the pressure will no doubt increase on coach Slevarakis now. It's thrown away and PAOK will get the ball back, but another interception. No, Wiggins holds on to it, drives to the basket. Misses the right-handed lay-in, and that's all she wrote here at the PAOK Arena. PAOK 72, Neptunas 94. There's your final score, and a frustrating night for PAOK as they lose this one 72-94 to Neptunas. And like I say, bar that second quarter, an exceptionally poor performance from PAOK. They didn't have a quarter where they scored more than 20 points. They didn't have a quarter except that second quarter. They didn't have a quarter except the second quarter where they managed to limit Neptunas to under 20 points. And the woes for PAOK continue in the Basketball Champions League. They slipped to 0-3 now. And it's going to be a tough fight back into this now. You cannot afford to lose many games in the opening stages if you want to make the postseason, the round of 16 in the Basketball Champions League. There your shooting percentages. Strong performance from Neptunas, 61% from 2, 37 from 3, and an impressive 24 from 30 from the line. They also won the rebounding battle and a good team offensive performance as well. 18 assists for Neptunas. You can hear some frustrated voices from the fans in the crowd at PAOK as well. Leading scorer of everyone was Smith. Yalis led things for Neptunas with 13. Wiggins did a good job in the closing stages of PAOK, though he got to 17. And Olasevicius was strong for Neptunas in that first half. He ended up with 12 points. But a wonderful game here for Neptunas. They started in fine form. They really did. They got out to a huge lead at the end of the first quarter. They were leading by 21 after 10 minutes. 32-11 was the score at the end of the first quarter. PAOK unbelievably reduced that lead to just 6 points during that second quarter as Neptunas went to the halftime locker room with a 6-point lead. But it was no looking back from there for Neptunas. Another dominant third quarter from them as they outscored PAOK 28-14. And then they really just hit cruise control in that final quarter to finish up 94-72 winners here in Thessaloniki. And there's been some wonderful performances across the board for the visitors, Neptunas. 5 players in double-digit. Galis led things with 13 points and 3 rebounds. Alongside that, you have to look at Olasevicius as well. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a block and a steal to his name. Also in double digits was Galdikis. He had a double-double, 11 and 10 rebounds for him. Zulis, the young man, 11 points, 3 rebounds and 2 blocks to his name. And then the final player in double digits was Delininkaitis, and he hit 10 points in just over 10 minutes of play, which is an impressive performance, but a wonderful team performance and highly effective, efficient team performance from Neptunas. For PAOK, however, not a huge amount to write home about. Only 3 players in double digits. Adam Smith leading things with 19 points. However, he only scored 3 points in that final half. 16 points in the first half, only 3 in the second, and that was really the undoing of PAOK. Antoine Wiggins also had a strong second half, though, as we see him throw down the jam. He ended up with 17 points, 10 rebounds. And Apollon Soklis was the only other player in double digits. He got 12 points, but fouled out at the game in the last few seconds. But it really is back to the drawing board for PAOK. As I say, they now sit bottom of Group D at the end of game day 3. 0-3 record for them. Whilst Neptunas will see where they end up. They're likely to move up in the standings to a 2-1 record. At the moment, they sit 5th. Wait to see how the other games go. But what a big game day 3 here at the PAOK Arena in Thessalonica. Here's your standings as we see them at the moment. Neptunas Klaipeda will obviously go top, but we wait for the other games to be played, whilst PAOK will finish game day 3 at the bottom. But here at the PAOK Arena in Thessalonica, PAOK 72, Neptunas Klaipeda 94. Thank you for joining me for what has been a great Basketball Champions League game. I'm sure we'll see you all again soon.